Welcome back to LDB Games. I'm Lord Darth Balls, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. And in this video, I am going to rank every single one of the artifact sets in Raid Shadow Legends, and we're going to see which one is the best. So first, shout out to Chosen, who created this tier list, so I didn't have to. Saved me quite a bit of time in preparation of this video. And for context of what I'm going to do, I'm going to be rating these sets, ranking them, from the perspective of the whole game. So a lot of these sets, many of these sets can be like niche use case sets, and the fact that they are only usable in certain areas of the game, in my opinion, will bring their rating down a little bit. So before we get into it, I'm sure there are going to be people that disagree. I welcome it. Feel free to let me know that in the comments what you think I got wrong or what you agree with. All right, that said, let's get into it. So the first one that we're gonna do is and I'm gonna lay these out fairly quickly with some commentary, and then I'm gonna rearrange as I go, and at the end, based on how it plays out, right? Because I want this to, it all jive at the end of the day. So accuracy is really good in the beginning of the game, and we don't have mythical gear yet. However, mythical gear will kind of bring this set back into the fold. Accuracy is a powerful stat though, so I am going to start it off in the B tier. You just flat out 40 accuracy for 2 pieces of gear, which is pretty nice. Let's find some of the basic, attack, F. There are so many other better sets in the game, and attack is, in terms of stats, attack is probably one of the least impactful, right? Attack, the actual number of attack power that you have on your champion will only help you if your champion is attack based, whereas HP will help every single champion in the game regardless of what type of champion you are. What do we got here? Defense. I'm also going to put defense in the F tier. There are a couple other better sets that come into play, so it's definitely been power crept. However, in the early game, defense and attack are solid sets. There, you can't really go wrong with them because you don't really have much else. In the same vein, I'm going to put life in that bottom tier as well. Definitely over, like, way power crept. Next up, let's look at crit damage. I kind of like crit damage, although it's usually used in conjunction with a quad set. I'm leaning towards A. Let's put it there for now, and we'll come back to it. It's just 20% crit damage, but crit damage is more damage, right? At the end of the day, it's pretty solid. Talking about damage, let's look at Savage. Savage is S tier, in my opinion, one of the best sets in the game. Let's get another S tier up there. S tier or A tier? Speed is, I feel like speed's, even though the meta isn't really speed anymore, speed is still a very, very strong stat in this game. And without speed, your champions pretty much can't do anything. So I'm going to put Divine Speed in that same category. It's a little harder to get, sure, but it has, just as good of an effect, right? You get the speed bonus, and you get a little shield bonus with Divine Speed as well. Moving on here, let's see, Lifesteal. Now, Lifesteal is really good in the early game, before you really have high base stats, full ascended champions, fully maxed out gear. However, towards the late game, it does kind of fall off a little bit. I think I only have one champion in Lifesteal, and I don't really use him. I would consider myself a late game player. I don't think I'm near end game. I am I would say towards the middle of late game. I'm gonna put it as a C for now, and we'll judge that later. Immortal. Immortal is actually a very good set. HP percentage. Here, I have the game here just in case I forget. Immortal has HP percentage, and it heals by 3% every turn. That's right. Which is really nice. A really nice little add-on bonus, especially when you're trying to survive like really difficult content. I'm gonna put that in the A tier. Now, I'm going to move crit damage down to B. Because I don't think Immortal and crit damage are on the same par. Immortal has gotten through Clan Boss, so it's very accessible as well. And alongside of it, its sister set. Where is it? Cruel. Where is it? Is it not here? Here it is. Cruel. I'm going to put Cruel up in the same A tier as well. You get a nice little 5% defense ignore, which is really nice. All right. Cursed. Terrible. There is really no place for this in the game. You're better off bringing a champion in that puts heal reduction on, right? It's the heal reduction set, isn't it? Yeah. And honestly, there's very few places that heal reduction is like a necessity. And if it is, there are plenty of champions with it. It's really not that big a deal. Resilience is a really nice filler set, right? You get both HP and defense. And let's throw it in C for now, because I would choose an accuracy set over resilience, because accuracy is just that much more powerful than just effective HP. However, for a tank, resilience is an excellent choice. All right, moving on here. Avenging, I like this Avenging set is interesting because it is, what is it? It's a counterattack when you're hit with a crit. Now, it's a 45% chance, which is kind of nice. However, the only place that you're going to use that is in the arena. And there are a lot of other better choices for 4-piece sets in the arena. So in my opinion, it's really like a terrible set. I would put it above the base sets, though. I'd keep heal reduction at the bottom. Retaliation is a similar set. It's another 4-piece set, but it's an 18% chance to counterattack regardless of the hit. So it comes into play in PvP and PvE. And we may see this get more play with the hard dungeons coming out. Now, I do use Retaliation, though it is a niche set. Usually for a champion that has either a big hitting A1 or an A1 with a cool, like, unique ability like a poison or an HP burn activator. I'm going to put it in B tier, but it's probably going to sit towards the bottom of B tier. It's a real high C, low B, but it's, in my opinion, it's better than Lifesteal, especially if you have masteries for that hit. I mean, I think it's a lot better. Perception is one of the best sets in the game and remains that way despite what they've done. It's one of the most accessible sets through the Forge. So you always have pieces of it, and it gives you two of the most powerful stats in the game: accuracy and speed. What more could you want out of a set? This is Divine Offense. I'm going to put that in C. It's basically an attack set with a little bonus shield on it. Nothing crazy. I'm going to put Divine Life there too. Same thing. It's the life set with a little bonus shield. Curing set. Curing set's niche. I have it on, I think, one champion. So I'm going to put it just below Retaliation at the bottom of C, I think. It's a 20% bonus heal, so it can only be used on healing champions. However, it can have some really good applications. Crit rate. Crit rate set is really good in the early game. However, it's power crept a little bit. Now I'm gonna put crit rate in C, and then there's divine crit rate, which gives you the little shield as well. I'm actually gonna put that in the bottom of B. Although I think that's better than. They're kind of on par with each other, in my opinion. I'm sure people will disagree on that one. Frost, I have yet to build and keep a champion in Frost. I don't really see the value in it. I don't like freeze as a debuff in general because it reduces the amount of damage you do. And that just prolongs the fight, right? One of the goals, at least from my perspective in Raid, is to finish content quickly, right? To move on. There's so many things to do in this game, and if you get caught doing content for an extended period of time, it's a time sink. So I don't use it out of principle. But I would put it in the top of F tier because I know it has some value. I get that. I know it has some value. I just, no. I'm going to actually do the same thing with Daze, but I'm going to put Daze below Freeze because you can wake people up if they're asleep. And I've never built a champion in Daze, and I don't think I ever will. Maybe for the Sand Devil, but with Muckstalker and some of the Ninja Godseeker strategies, it's not really that necessary. F tier's piling up. We got to get some more top tier sets up in here. So I think this one's Stone Skin. I'm going to put Stone Skin in the top. It is primarily a PvP ability, but it has really good uses in PvE as well. Like, for instance, I'm going to be coming out with a video next week on Spider 24, and I use Ultimate Death Knight as a tank, and he's in Stone Skin, and it really just helps him tank the damage, like, in an incredible way. And that's, he's really slow, so he doesn't take very many turns, so it can still come into play in content that, wave content that you're moving through quickly, or such and such like that. Destroy is niche. The only place that I use Destroy is on damage-dealing champions that I use against Borgoth, the Scarab King, and the Doom Tower. Now, Borgoth is in 2 rotations of the Doom Tower, so he's consistent for the most part. But I would put it here, below Retaliation, because I think Retaliation has more utility, but above Curing, definitely more than Curing. Looking at this, I think I got to do this. I definitely put Lifesteal. Curing is, yeah. Curing is just getting taken down a peg and down a peg and I think this one's Frenzy, right? Frenzy is the Fury. It's Fury. It's increasing damage as HP decreases, and I'm sure there's a use case for this. I haven't found it. Nor have I had the desire to. I tend to sell most of those accessories anyway. Resistance is a really good filler set now that Resistance is more into the meta, right? There are a handful of bosses that you really need at least a couple champions with high resistance, and there is a high resistance meta in the arena. I'm going to throw that in B. Well, A is not getting much love here. What would go in Stun Set? Stun Set is a great set, primarily for wave-based content, but it can be used anywhere. Like, I don't have my Hegemon built that way, but one of the ways to build Hegemon is in Stun Set so that he has a chance of stunning before they get their turn. So it has play in every single area of the game outside of bosses, right? Because you can't stun bosses. But there's a lot of wave content in this game, and most bosses have waves leading up to it. Even the ones that don't like Spider, stunning the spiders is part of a key strategy. So I would put Stun in the A tier. I would keep it here because I would choose Cruel or Immortal over it. But I mean, I might even do like a set of one of these with Stun, because Stun is a 4-piece set. All right. Frenzy, that's this little guy right here, and that's an increased turn meter for HP lost. That's kind of cool. Again, I haven't found a niche case for it, nor have I really tried. So I'm gonna put it at the bottom of C just because C needs a little love right now. And I would, if I were to choose one of these low tier sets, I would choose it over all of these. But I would definitely choose one of these over Frenzy. All right, Stalwart is a very good set, though it's been power crept a little bit. I am going to put it in A because it's like a steady Eddie set, right? 4-piece, straight up damage mitigation. And in this game, damage mitigation is critical, really. The more damage mitigation you have, the longer you can last, and the more damage you can do, right? It's pretty simple. This is Reflex, right? Resets the cooldown. This is a really cool set. And comes into play with some powerful champions, right? If you have a champion that has an incredible, like I have one of my bad L's built in Reflex. He's got 2 abilities. His A2 is a full team cleanse, 2 continuous heals, and 2 poisons, like massive ability. Sometimes he gets it 2 turns in a row, which is pretty incredible. So I'm going to put it smack in the middle of A. Regen is powerful, right? Regen is necessary for, I think, all of the different solo builds, for soloing content, like bosses like Scarab or Bommel or things like that. If there's a solo strategy, it usually involves somebody in regeneration set, because it's the 4-piece, like, cracked out version of Immortal. I'm gonna keep this in A, but I'm gonna put it above Immortal, or kind of like right next to each other, because they're pretty similar sets, slightly different how they come into play. Is Fatal, right? Isn't that the attack percentage and crit rate percentage? I'm not a big fan of that set. No, that's not Fatal. This is Fatal, and I'm not a big fan of that set. There are other sets that are way better. Let's just put it like that. I would actually put it on par with a crit rate set. I'd use it in and around the same thing, because attack is good, but most of the time I'd rather crit damage than attack. So if I can get the crit rate, I'm going to opt in for a crit damage set at the end of the day. Speaking of a damage dealer set, Lethal. I'm going to put that as up there next to Savage, right? Savage ignores 25% defense. Lethal ignores 25% defense and gives you 10% crit rate. So it's a straight up upgrade to Savage gear. It can only be gotten through farming Dark Fae and the materials that you get from her, which is one rotation of the Doom Tower. Swift Parry came into the meta and came out very quickly. Because there are a lot of abilities now that ignore unkillable, and it is a 50-50 shot. Admittedly, I do have a champion in Swift Parry, and it comes in clutch. I'm going to put it bottom of A, because you do get a chunk of crit damage and speed from the 4-piece set. Two very good stats. Toxic is a very good set too. I have never used it, admittedly. I know there's a lot of strategies around clan boss teams adding a toxic set in to increase your poison damage. It never kind of fell into my realm of playtest, but I recognize its ability. I'm going to put it at the top of middle of B, because I would choose crit rate, crit damage, and accuracy over it, but I might choose Toxic over Retaliation. I think Toxic has more universal applications than Retaliation does. Retaliation, you really want a champion with a good A1, an AoE or some powerful ability on it. But with an AoE A1, you're probably going to want to use Stun set anyway, because that's just what you do. My Bellower is in a Stun set. Huge for Faction Wars, like incredible. It helps me get the one rare champion in Faction Wars Advanced Quest and keeps my time relatively quick, because he has a chance to just lock champions out, which is really nice. This is Affinity Breaker. I tried Affinity Breaker. I did, because I got some like godlike pieces in Affinity Breaker. Affinity Breaker has first of all, you get 30% crit damage, which is a huge bump. And it also has a 20% chance to change a weak hit into a critical hit. Now, it's like a 15% chance, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but it's like a 15% chance to turn a critical hit into a weak hit when you're going up against a negative affinity. So the 20% is on the 15%. So, I mean, Raid is RNG, right? It's RNG on RNG on RNG on RNG on RNG. In my opinion, this is too much RNG, and it doesn't really ever pay off. I never really saw the effect of Affinity Breaker like I would from Savage set. I'm going to put it at the bottom of C. It really gets no love from me. I like I said, I even tried it, right? That was a set I tried. Fury, Frenzy, haven't tried. Actually, yeah, haven't tried. Daze, haven't tried. Avenging, I did try. Freeze, I tried. But, it didn't, yeah, no good. Protection set is interesting. I haven't taken the leap in testing protection set yet, but in my opinion, it's niche case. It's nowhere near as powerful as Stone Skin. I'm actually gonna, yeah. It's nowhere near as powerful as Stone Skin, in my opinion. I'm gonna put it somewhere in A. I'm gonna leave it there for now. I may rearrange that. What is this? Provoke, right? That's the Provoke set. Yeah, Provoke. This has gotten more play since Hydra was nerfed. The head is now, you're now able to provoke the head, so you can bring this in on a secondary champion to help keep that provoke up. But again, it's niche. It's real niche. I'm going to throw that in B tier because it's a solid set. Instinct. You know, I think it was the first Forge Pass set they came out with, and it's like cool, but like not cool at the same time. You know, it ignores 20% defense instead of 25, but then you get a little bit of speed. I don't think that's a trade-off I want to make. I would rather glyph up a Savage set or a Lethal set for some extra speed, or throw in a 2-piece speed set next to that 4-piece set. You know, and Instinct itself is a 4-piece set. I just don't think there's enough to be gotten from this set to make it worthwhile. I would probably put it smack dab in the middle of B. Yeah. Although, I don't know. I think I gotta do this. I would use resilience over all of this. Maybe resistance. Yeah, we'll come back to that. I'll fiddle some more. All right. What's next? Frostbite F. It's like I talk about RNG, right? 15% chance to block a freeze, 10% chance to place a freeze on attacker. Like at that point, I mean, you're better off just going with a frost set. Just flat out 20% chance to hit it on, place it on the attacker. I don't think that has any place in the game. If you disagree, let me know. I'd love to where you to know where you use it, who you use it on, and whether you see the benefit of it. I'd much rather use Dark Elhain in the arena. Rips, triggers her attack. It cleanses herself from a freeze and puts out some serious damage. I just don't see the use case. Relentless. I really like Relentless set. However, one, it's difficult to get because you got to win tournaments, and two, I'm about to say it's niche, but it's really not. You can use Relentless on any champion, like any champion, and you'll get immediate value. S tier needs a little bit of love. Let's throw it at the bottom of S tier for now, and it might get moved. Now, Guardian is a set I'm trying to build up because of its value for damage mitigation. Incredible set. So I've been farming the Griffin on the rotations that don't have Dark Fae to try to build up a Guardian set. I'm going to throw that at the bottom of S. It's kind of like top A, bottom S. We'll see what else. We'll see what else goes in there. What else do we got down here? Immunity. Now, I know immunity has some serious value in this game. It's primarily PvP to my understanding. And I've also never gotten a good enough set in immunity to make it worth it. Maybe I haven't looked hard enough, or Stone Skin came in too soon for me to even care about it. Because I don't, yeah. And it's gotten power crept by, I think, Bommel's 1. Let's put it here for now, because then, what's this one? It's the one you get for Fortitude, which has the resistance and the defense, but it doesn't bring the same block debuffs on here. And it's really good for a high resistance champion, so I would put it above resistance here. Not too much farther, though. I'll probably put it here. Ooh, B's getting a lot. Let's move Provoke down to top of C. Keep it even a little bit. Bloodthirst is cool. It's a flat-out upgrade to Lifesteal. I don't really use it very much. It's, it's not as easy to get as other sets. Let's put it in the bottom of A for now. What is this plus? I feel like I recognize that from somewhere. Is that bolst? No. No, it's not even here. I don't even have any gear. What? No, I want to go to the forge. It is bolster. And this is, okay, so I guess we'll do shield first, right? Shield is a really good set. It has multiple applications between, running from damage mitigation to damage amplification, right? If you're running Seer, having a champion in a shield set just increases the amount of damage you can do because it's another buff to rip. Now, it also helps in various different bosses, like coming into Borgoth with a shield set, helps ensure that your abilities are in sync. If you don't use the AI to make sure it's ready, right? You throw the shield up for the first couple turns, get your cooldowns back, and you're good to go. It has gotten power crept. So I'm actually going to put it at the top of C. And then we take Bolster, and Bolster is a protected shield. And it has the heal mechanic that Immortal has. Now, I don't have any of this, as you might be able to see in the background. I think that was the one Forge Pass I didn't even take part in. I have yet to purchase a Forge Pass. I think we're in a Bolster one right now. I may purchase it just because I want the Bolster set. For $20, it's actually a pretty good value for what you get in the game. I am very, very picky on what I spend money on in this game now. I had a couple, there were a couple times I spent a little bit of money, but I caught myself. I put myself in check. But Bolster, I think, is very good. I'm actually going to put that S tier because a protected shield is incredible, right? There's a lot of different mechanics between PvP and PvE to remove buffs, and having that protected shield is huge, which is why protection is still up here. I haven't really play tested protection, so I can't really give it my full review. Same kind of thing with deflection. Deflection's an interesting one. It's been around for a while, and it uses the unique resource that you need for Swift Parry, and I always saw more value in Swift Parry. So I don't even think I crafted deflection pieces. I'm gonna put it in the bottom of B, because I don't really use. Yeah, I'll put it there for now. I know it's a good set, and I know it could probably be rated higher. And I'm sure people will disagree on that. I think this is real big in Platinum Arena, although despite the power on my account, I've never been able to break into Platinum Arena, even before it real jacked up. Because the arena has always been an interesting area to play. A lot of fun, but definitely unbalanced, to say the least. We've got two more. One's Defiant, and Defiant is a flat-out upgrade from Stalwart. So it's a small upgrade, though. The only thing you get is the extra defense. The benefit is that's a 2-piece set instead of a 4-piece set. So I'm actually going to put it above Reflex. I think this has more use than... I'm going to put it right next to it. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it right next to it. I mean, at the end of the day, what is Stalwart? How much is it? Is it 20? I don't even know. It's 30. So you get similar amounts. The difference is you can add a 2-piece set on and get more. They're very, very similar. You get a little bit more stats, and it's a little bit more flexible than Stalwart. But it's very, very similar in terms of capability. And the last one is what you get from the Scarab, right? Untouchable. This is the upgrade to immunity, which gives you the 2-turn block debuffs plus resistance. Again, I haven't farmed Scarab enough to really get a good set for this. If you can see in the background, I actually have a handful of pieces, but I don't really have a full kit that's worthy of using it, right? Because the farther towards the end game you get, in order to use a niche set, you have to have godlike pieces. So it tends to take longer to build up a set that's worthy of bringing into your teams. Like I can't just throw a half-assed untouchable set and start playing around at the top of Gold 5, which is where I hang out. Like it's just not going to work. It may help me break into Gold in Tag Team if I have a good enough set, right? If I have a good enough set. So I know it's higher than Immunity. I don't know that it's S tier. Is there something here that I would put up in S tier? Well, to be frank, I'd probably do this. Right? Let's do this. This. I'm going to put this up. Oh, see, I don't want to do that. I want it to be clean. I want it to be clean. It's got to be clean. Is stun powerful enough to be S tier? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to say yes. And the reason being is that it can take a rare champion and turn it into an epic borderline legendary capabilities. So I'm going to throw stun up there. So let's take a last look at this. I got a fairly nice even distribution here. I'm gonna flip shield and deflection. I know there's gonna be some disagreement with that for the high end players. That's fine. I don't really see that value. I think this is good. I think we're gonna call it. What do you guys think? Do you agree or do you disagree? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know. And while you go down there to put your comment in, don't forget to click that subscribe button, smash the like button, and come get involved in my new Discord community. Thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, I appreciate your view. I'm going to snip this real quick and drop it into my Discord. I'm going to build up a list of all the tiers that I do in my Discord if you do decide to come get involved. I've been Lord Darth Balls. I'll catch you on the next video. Enjoy your raid.